Greetings from Canada.
Glenn, this is Joe Wrabek calling from in the United States for that exclusive interview on your radio show.
So that's how you pronounce it. I've been introducing your music under the banner of Joe Wrabek.
No, not Rabid. That was the dog. The dog is dead. Dog got eaten. There was a song about that.
I'm just kidding you there, Joe. I've known of the work of Joe Wrabek for quite a while now. A very interesting niche you've got there. I would say it's country comedy.
Well, it is an interesting niche and one that wasn't being filled. Pure fluke, really. Something Steve Goodman said before he died. All country music songs are written about mother, trucks, trains, farms, prison, dead dogs, and Christmas. Steve himself had even written one, but it didn't have dead dogs and Christmas in it. I just had to write one that had them all. That was how the world got I'm Giving Mom a Dead Dog for Christmas.
An instant Christmas classic. So why did you pick up the guitar?
I learned to play the guitar to impress a girlfriend. I no longer have a girlfriend, still have the guitar.
So, Joe, how is it that you chose to produce country music?
That question's been asked on SoundClick. Several reasons. Country music is simple, and I'm a simple kind of guy. Country music can sound good whether it's being played solo or with a band, and I do both. Country music is also a lot more literate. It's focused more on the words, and words is what I do for a living. It is, or at least it used to be, the only genre where a person had a future as a writer, writing songs for other people instead of having to perform them himself. And I've lived the better part of my life now in parts of the country where they only have two kinds of music, country and western, and I guess I've gotten used to it.
What do you think of the wonderful wide web?
I think it's going to kill off the music industry as we know it, and that'll be a good thing. Right now, the music industry seems to be going through one of its periodic circle the wagons mindsets in which nobody new is being allowed in so that those who are already inside the circle can maximize their profit. That's a valid business plan. AT&T is still using it. I don't like it because I'm on the outside trying to break in, as are a lot of other people. There are some real gems out there, and people with iPods and computers are finding those gems with the help of you and people like you, if there is anybody like you out there. If the music industry doesn't hurry up and co-opt a lot of those gems and bring them inside the circle, the music industry is going to become irrelevant. And I think that's what's going to happen because the music industry has lost, in my opinion, the ability to recognize talent. Well, I'm not one of those gems. I'm a writer. Once upon a time, I had ambitions of being a writer in Nashville and writing songs that other people with real talent, would perform. I don't think positions like that exist anymore. The stuff I write appeals primarily to people who attend live performances by real people playing real instruments. Dying breed, true, but there's still a lot of them out there. And that's a market the music industry isn't interested in any longer. I perform my stuff. I had to learn how to do it because mostly nobody's going to play my stuff but me. I don't expect to make a fortune at it, but it is fun. I do get real excited when somebody else covers one of my songs. I have had that happen twice now, and one of them is actually somebody else who plays live. He goes by the handle Alone Arranger, by the way. Got to put in a plug for him. Note that both of those are independent, mostly unknown musicians, but it still feels like I'm fulfilling the dream. You know, they're playing my song.
Are there any sheep harmed in the making of Sheep Are Real Good Too?
No, the sheep are alive, unless they died from embarrassment at all the publicity you gave that song. And I can't take credit for the lyrics. They were written by a fellow in Utah named Bill Osofsky. I just set him to music. It is a neat song, and it is comforting to know that I don't have a monopoly on that kind of thing. The sheep that did the backup vocals in the song, though, I believe were recorded live. I got those from Lukewarm Water, who is another Canadian like yourself, and there really aren't any sheep around where I live. Just cows.
Now, a common theme in Joe's song is sometimes that of dead animals. How did that come about, Joe?
I was peering over the shoulder of one of the musicians in our Friday night group while she was leafing through her sheet music, and I thought I saw a song entitled Bluebird on my windshield. And I said, ooh, I want to learn that one. Turned out to be Bluebird on my windowsill. But I couldn't get the bluebird on my windshield image out of my head until I wrote the song. After that, people started feeding me stuff. I have 2 more Dead Dog songs, one where the dog gets eaten, and I have Dead Things in the Shower that I co-wrote with Bobby Gallup in Tennessee, which the Collaborators are recording, and the Christmas song I wrote with my daughter, Chipmunks Roasting on an Open Fire.
You did some work with Twisted Fox, a phenomenal guitar player out of Brisbane, Australia, in collaboration with the Collaborators. Now that band, they're made up of members that are from all around the world, from what I understand.
True. Twist is from Australia. Vic is from Mississippi. Vicky is from BC. Cliff from California. Mo lives somewhere in Canada too. I'm in Oregon. I'm not sure where the rest of them are. We've never met in person, but this is a really tight band. When you hear their recording, it sounds like they're all in the same room. I appreciate being able to play with them, and they've recorded 3 of my songs thus far. We have talked about doing a reunion get-together so we could finally meet for the first time. The Collaborators is one of those cutting-edge things that could only exist because of the internet. I have noticed other groups of musicians starting slowly and tentatively to do the same thing. This is one of the options for music in the 21st century. You can assemble talent literally from all over the globe and produce works of art. Should I mention that the music industry hasn't figured this out yet? Or should we keep it a secret?
Well, it won't be a secret for long. Joe, what did you do for a day job, or what was your career?
Former advertising manager here.
Oh, so that's what you meant by earning your living with words. Now put yourself in the listener's shoes. What do you think about the choices available to the listener with the independent music that has been placed on the web?
There's a plethora of choices out there. I've compared it to a stash of diamonds in a sewer plant. Yes, there are gems, but you have to wade through a lot of crap to get to them. Internet music needs filters. Somebody to identify the gems and pluck them out and show them off to everybody. That's what the old radio station DJs and concert promoters did in the 1950s and 60s. And that's what you're doing. I don't see a lot of other people doing it, and none of them doing it on the scale that you are. You've been called the Alan Freed of the internet, and that's not too far off.
Well, Joe, I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. Hey, now I've been asking all the questions. Do you have a question for the world infamous Len Amsterdam?
Well, yeah. Virtually all of your promos include a photo of a dog. Your dog?
That's my dog.
What's his or her name?
Her name is Pepper Scott.
And what kind of music does she like?
Isn't it obvious, Joe? Country music. Well, that's a wrap. I'd just like to thank Joe Wrabek for swinging in from the good old USA. Mr. Wrabek is on the top of my playlist and should be on yours too. Take it away, Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, males, females, in-betweens and not sures, this is the Len Amsterdam radio show, exposing and promoting the best independent artists and writers since, well, nobody was really doing it before Len was. If it weren't for this, a lot of us would not be famous or be getting cuts or record sales outside of our own hometowns. Thanks a lot, Len. It was raining like heck, temperature dropping. Mom hit her stash before she went shopping. The radio, boring. TV was crap. Too young to have sex. Too old for a nap. Good music could help chase them old blues away. It weren't gonna happen this cold, cold, wet day. And the
night he just sorta showed up dripping wet. That feline from Fender, cat with the strap. He said, "What for you staring like that?" "It's been raining dogs. It's nicer in here. I'm ready to party. Anyone got a beer?" And the fish, "Did you think Mom would leave us alone?" yelled,
"Don't talk to strangers when your mother ain't home."
The cat only grinned and said, "Please do not waste time listening to him. Fish ain't got no taste." I play R&B, rock, reggae, and rap. I can even do country, said the cat with a strap. I can purr like a Buick, like Elvis I wail, and you should see the stuff I can do with my tail. I can play really hot licks, said the cat. I know lots of songs, said the cat with a strap. This here's a new one, I know you'll like this. It's called What to Do When Annoyed by a Fish. Like eagles would fly were they wingless and damp, the fish soared through the air and into the lamp. There was sparking and smoking, fuses blew out, and the smell of fried fish permeated the house. Really tasty, I like 'em like that. A fish and a lamp, said the cat with a strap. Brought in his roadies, amp 1 and amp 2, and yelled out instructions for things we could do. 5 things that go clatter, shatter, and splat. I need some percussion, said the cat with a strap. So we battered around every pan we could take, and especially fun were the things that could break. It was up by the glassware we found Mama's stash, and things got a little confused after that. We played like the Stones, or maybe their brothers, minus Jagger and Richards, 2 or 3 others. Tatters, furniture broke, and every room filled up with foul-smelling smoke when Mom got back home. Cat up and split, saying he wasn't cleaning up one little bit. The bed without supper weren't really so bad. We'd had lots of munchies with the cat with a strap. Well, insurance will fix things, 'cause Mama maintained it was drug-crazed preteens driven nuts by the rain. The cat ain't come back. Mom don't believe. If it weren't for the claw marks, neither would we. She's convinced we're the ones drinking beer from a dish, and she still hasn't noticed she's missing her fish.